He's a Hall of Famer, one of the great running backs of all time. Played for over a decade in the NFL, Pro Football Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson joining us live. Eric Dickerson has lived in the same house, I love this about him, for like 30-some years. Unbelievable. I'm moving around to a new house every 15 minutes. I'm weird. You are a reliable guy. Now, you're wearing that Rams outfit, and the audience is going to go, oh, give me a break. So we have to be, let's try to be both of us here. Here's what worries me about the Rams. I don't think that their guard they drafted out for the year. I do not think you can replace the leadership and talent of Andrew Whitworth in one draft or in 1 year. I worry a little about their offensive line. Is there anything that worries you about the team?
Well, I think you said it. I think the offensive line is a concern. You got to see how they mesh together. You know, losing a guy like Andrew Whitworth, that's a big loss. But you have to move on no matter what. I think a lot of the teams in the National Football League are kind of struggling in the offensive line area because that's a unit that has to play together for a while.
Yeah.
And the big thing there is trying to keep guys healthy. You
Sure.
just never know because, you know, that injury can happen very quickly. But that is the only thing I worry about the Rams' offensive line and the depth of the offensive line. But other than that, you know, they have all the weapons. And one thing is, Colin, is that, you know, the Rams won the Super Bowl, but it's like they get no respect. It's like they're still like Rodney Dangerfield. You know, give you a little respect around here. They get no respect for winning the Super Bowl.
It's interesting. When the Bucs won a couple years ago, they brought everybody back. The Rams didn't, Eric. They moved off Robert Woods. They moved off Darius Williams. They moved off Von Miller. Cam Akers had some fumbles in the Tampa game. They went out and got another running back, a kid out of Notre Dame that doesn't fumble. I like that. I like the Rams saying, listen, we'll pay you, but this is a competitive environment here. We're going to be constantly evolving. They moved off Jared Goff a couple of years ago. I like that. I thought Tampa paid everybody. The Eagles won a Super Bowl. They paid everybody. Everybody got a car commercial. Take me to the best year of your career. The best year. The following year, what did they do to the roster?
Got rid of it pretty much. You know, it was a different era. You got to understand it's a different era. You know, they didn't have the money that the teams have now, especially the Rams. You know, with an owner like Stan Kroenke. You know, they would get rid of you for, you know, $150,000, $100,000. You know, they're not doing that now. You're talking about, you know, $10 or $15 million. You're talking about a guy that's going from, say, making $8 million and somebody offering him 12 to 14. That's the big difference there. You know, I don't really think they made that many big changes. You think they still have Aaron Donald. They still have Cooper Kupp. You know, they added Allen Robinson to the mix. They added Bobby Wagner to the mix. They have Jalen Ramsey. And the big thing is, and I said this when we got him, when I first met him, you know, Matt Stafford. I kept saying that was the missing piece. That was the guy that we needed to win the Super Bowl. You and other people did not believe it. I kept saying, because look, you might look at his numbers, but he was in Detroit. I don't care if you put Superman in Detroit. You could put Tom Brady in Detroit. It's still Detroit. They're not winning. Some teams just born losers. They just lose. That's what they do.
So, Josh, you are the centerpiece of your offenses. Josh Allen is overwhelmingly the centerpiece of Buffalo. Had you played with somebody as great as Josh Allen, who may have the best arm in the league, God, he's got 75 touchdowns in 3 years in the league, would you have been okay saying, like Aaron Rodgers this year does not have a number one receiver? They're going to run the ball more, and they're going to run the ball more in Green Bay. They just are. I mean, would Josh Allen, if you were a running back, would you come to terms with that's the centerpiece of this team?
I think that when you have a quarterback, and if you are lucky enough to have a running back on that same team, there's certain games where you're going to run the football. The running game is going to work because they can't stop the run. Because when you game plan a team, you look at what their weaknesses are. You know, you don't throw the ball just because you have a Josh Allen. If the team can't stop the run, you run the football. If it's better to do run and throw, play action, that's what you do. If I play with a guy like Josh Allen, I'd have loved to have a quarterback like him. Oh, my gosh. Because you know what? I wouldn't need the carries because I'm not looking at 8 and 9 man fronts all the time.
Right.
You know, I'm looking at they got to play their basic defense. So it makes it a lot easier for me, and it makes it a lot easier for a guy like Josh Allen.
You know, it is interesting that I think only 7 running backs had 1,000 yards last season. And a lot of the coaches like their running backs to catch. And that's an interesting world. You could look at that and think, boy, a running back likes the rock. But I think if I was a running back, I would love to get 6 little passes out in the flat. I look at you as the guy that got the ball between the tackles and made magic happen. In today's NFL, where backs are often really valuable receiving targets, you like that? Do you like where the league's going?
Most definitely. I do like that because it gives you a running start. You know, you're not always coming out the backfield. You're a dual weapon. It was like it started kind of with myself, Roger Craig. He was the first 1,000 guy. My first year in the league, I had 1,800 yards receiving. I think I had another 1,800 yards rushing and another 498 receiving with 51 receptions. After that, they didn't throw the football because we didn't have a quarterback to throw the football. It's who you have in that position. It's what makes your team better. It's not just you don't throw the football to the running back just because you throw it to him. You know, it doesn't work like that. You know, you have to have a guy that can run routes. You know, he understands the defense, like a Marshall Faulk, or you know, I look at the guy, the big guy in Tennessee,
Derrick Henry. Yeah,
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's not a guy that's gonna come out and run an angle route. He's not gonna come out, you know, and run a streak route up the field, a seam route. That's not what he does. You know, you have to play to your strengths. But I do like they throw to the running backs out of the backfield. I mean, I'm sure backs do too. But the running back this day and age does not like to carry the ball 25, 30 times. You see, it's a very few guys that want to do that. Derrick Henry will do that. You know, I think Ezekiel Elliott would do that. It's very few guys want to do that. The guy in Indianapolis, I think he's that guy.
Jonathan Taylor.
He likes that.
Yeah,
Jonathan Taylor, he wants to run the football. But, you know, it's going to be just a handful of guys that we call workhorses.
You know, it's interesting with the 49ers. So as much as people criticize Garoppolo, the one thing Jimmy did, he's an accurate thrower. He got it to Debo, he got it to Kittle, he got it to Brandon Ayuk. He gets you the ball, and then he lets you move. Trey Lance is a better talent. He's not super accurate. And so my takeaway is these guys have played with an accurate quarterback who may be limited, but he gets them the ball, and they get big yards after the catch. All those guys, Debo, Kittle, all of them. Brandon Ayuk, they're big after the catch guys. And so here you have this young quarterback who's got a bigger arm, who can move around, but you may not put that baby right where you want it. And my takeaway is everybody in that room knows Shanahan's brilliant, and everybody in the room knows Garoppolo wins a lot of big games and got him to a Super Bowl. How patient would you be? You're a Niner. You're 2-2 through 4 games, and Eric, he ain't hitting you in the numbers. And you're not, you may have a bonus. And my takeaway is I think Trey Lance is good, but this roster is so good, and these guys have had this guy that just delivers them layups and easy stuff. Maybe not great stuff, but easy stuff. How long can you be patient in this league?
Well, you know, in this league, in any league, it's about winning football games. You know, if they come out 2-2 and they look down like we got a tough way to go the next 4 weeks, we've got to see should we go back to Garoppolo or should we stay with Trey Lance. Trey Lance most definitely is more athletic.
Yes.
You know, the running quarterback, you know, can run and throw. But like you said, I'm always big on the accuracy. I mean, I'm big. That's the thing. If you can put it right here where it's supposed to be, you can't beat that. I mean, if you know, in the NFL, the ball can't be just a little bit off. It can't be behind you. That could be a pick. It can't be lofted. It can't be floated in. That's a pick. You have to have accuracy. I mean, I know everyone wants the guy that can run and throw, but me personally, I would take that. I'll take that accurate quarterback all day long.
Yeah. So
you know what? I don't want him to win. Stay with him. I mean, we want them to fall behind. Because look, the 49ers are a very, very good football team. I mean, you have to give them credit. They have a great defensive front. They have a great coach. They run the ball very well. You know, Debo always seems to kill us. So, you know, that team is a team that you have to contend with in the NFC West.
Now, if the Rams lose tonight, I don't want you pouting and sulking. That Bills are very good, Eric. So I want you to get ready. It may not go your way tonight. It's going to be very close. You okay with that?
Hey, I'm okay. And if we win tonight, can we please get some credit, you know, from you? Can we get some credit from you over there, Colin?
Oh, just a little. You're trying to be – I live in L.A. I can't be more of an L.A. homer as it is. Good seeing you, buddy.
All right, good seeing you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.